What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to more Dead by Daylight. Now in this video we are going to be doing a survivor tier list video, guys. This has been long overdue, that's for sure. I usually do one of these every single mid-chapter patch. We're almost at chapter release, so I'm a little late to this, so that is my bad. And for those of you wondering why I do this every single mid-chapter patch, well, that's because something's always changing in Dead by Daylight. Whether it's in chapter release, whether it's in mid-chapter release, whether it's a killer's power, whether it's a killer perk, whether it's a survivor's perk, or being adjusted or something like that, there's something always changing every single chapter release and mid-chapter patch. So that's the reason we do this, just so we can see where everyone stands in the rankings. So that's why. Also, guys, we're just basing these survivors off their default perks, just because I know there's gonna be someone in the comments saying, why are you even doing a tier list video when you can slap a perk on any survivor, no matter which survivor's perk it is, you know what I mean, when it comes to teachables and all that. We know, we understand, we get it, but I'm talking about their default perks that they do come with. If you just rank them with their default perks, that's why we're doing this, to see where they stand in the rankings, especially with perks getting adjusted. And this can also help new players that are deciding to pick up Dead by Daylight but don't know where to start. So that's also another reason. Also, last thing, before I even get started with this video, guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that everyone knows what every single perk does. Just because if we go through every single survivor, we go through it, what every single perk does, we explain every single detail, we will legit be here forever. So I'm not gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that you guys know what these perks do, and then, you know, place them where I think they should be. So let's get started. So first up, let's go ahead and get the S tier survivor out of the way. Okay, I'm sure most of us can agree on this. Once again, this is where I placed Meg in the last survivor tier list video. Now I'm gonna go ahead and place her here again, because I still think Meg Thomas is a really good survivor, and I can see why I always see Meg hits all around the map almost every single game. So I understand why, just because she comes with some extremely good perks. So let's check them out. So when it comes to Meg Thomas, she has quick and quiet, sprint burst, and adrenaline. So you already have your stealth perk, you have your getaway perk from the killer, and you have your clutch perk, which is adrenaline, which is, I believe, one of the top 3 best perks in the game at the moment. So really good stuff. All really great perks, and which is basically the reason why I put her on S tier. Now for my next survivor right here, guys. I am gonna go ahead and change this next survivor up from my last tier list video. So last time I did put Lori in S tier. Now I'm thinking about maybe bringing her down to A tier, which is still good. In my opinion, is still very good. If you get placed in S tier or A tier, you're really good. Okay, when it comes to B, you're decent. Anything C and D is somewhat not bad, but not great. Now, when it comes to Lori's perks, it is Soul Survivor, Object of Obsession, and Decisive Strike. Now, when it comes to Soul Survivor, in my opinion, it's not that bad of a perk, okay? It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. Just because it is a aura disrupting perk, so that is good. But in order for this to actually work really well, your teammates have to die. So that's kind of the bad side of it. When it comes to Object of Obsession, let's be honest, you're using this to either troll, or you're just really good at the game, really good at looping. You just want all the attention for yourself so your teammates can do gens. So that's one of the 2 reasons. And when it comes to Decisive, guys, this is a clutch perk. This is really good, and it also helps you in case you go up against a killer that's just like tunneling you. You have that second win, that second chance to escape the killer's grasp and get away, or maybe he'll give up on you and go for someone else. Okay, but this is a really top tier perk, up there in my opinion, along with Meg Thomas's adrenaline. So this is really good. And the next survivor we're going to be talking about is Feng Min. Now I put it here in the last tier video, and I'm gonna go ahead and put her here again, just because she is one of my favorite female survivors. She has great perks, even though they did get adjusted as well. So in my opinion, she did get a buff when it comes to her perks. But I don't think that is enough to break through the A barrier to get to S tier. So let's check out the perks. Now, when it comes to Feng Min's perks, there is Technician, Life, and Alert. So when it comes to Technician, that is your stealth perk when it comes to Feng Min. And also, it's a really good perk if you're just starting out the game as well. Just because what you guys see right here in the description, this perk used to do a lot less than this before it got adjusted, okay? I think Technician got buffed, which is great, but I still don't think is that great of a perk, especially if you've been playing Dead by Daylight for a long time. So when it comes to this, the reason I say it's a good beginner perk, it's because it will prevent the generator from exploding and notifying the killer that you're there working on that gen. That is the good thing. That's a great thing. But if you do miss a skill check, you will be getting a speed penalty when it comes to the progression of that generator. So, like I said, great perk for starting out. Just learn to hit skill checks for when it comes to starting survivors. And you have life. We all know what life is. It's a getaway perk. It's a great perk. You vault, you go really fast, you go Sonic fast and try to escape the killer. You have alert, which I think is an amazing perk. A lot of people don't use this perk that much, but in my opinion, I think this is a great perk, especially getting information from like anywhere in the map. You see a killer, he kicks down the wall, he breaks down a pallet, he kicks a gen, you will be notified no matter where you are in the map. Okay, that's the reason, one of the main reasons, life and alert, why I put Figment in A tier, dude. These two are such good perks. Now, next survivor we are going to be talking about is Nia. Now, I did put her in A tier last tier list video, but I think I'm going to go ahead and switch it up and put her in B tier, okay? Even though that does not mean that she is a bad survivor, I think she is good. She's not amazing, but she is good, okay? I'm not saying that Nia is bad, but let's go ahead and check out the perks. So when it comes to Nia's perks, it is Balanced Landing, Urban Evasion, and Streetwise. So when it comes to Balanced Landing, you do have your Getaway perk, which is great. Getaway perks are amazing when it comes to survivors. And you do have Urban Evasion, which is your stealthy perk, which honestly, I don't really use Urban Evasion that much. It's great that you can go ahead and move faster when you're crouching. It's great, but I don't think it really helps out that much in game. But when it comes to Streetwise, I think it's a fun perk, but it's not really a necessary perk, especially when it comes to objective wise. It's not really going to help you out at all unless you really want to keep your item throughout the whole trial. That's the only reason it's going to help you, right? Or if you're in a full survive with friends and you guys are all using items, this is going to help you guys out, but it's not really necessary. So this is the reason why I'm kind of bringing it down from A tier to B tier in this video. So let's go ahead and check out the next survivor. Now, the next survivor we are going to be talking about is probably my favorite male survivor in the game, and it is Dwight, especially if it's Pizza Dwight, my man. Okay, we're going to go ahead and place him in A tier. I love Dwight. This is where I put him in my last tier list video as well, so I think this is where he belongs. All I'm saying is that if you guys are about teamwork, if you want to help out the team a lot, Dwight is probably one of the survivors for you, okay? Just because he does have Bond, Prove Thyself, and Leader. So when it comes to Bond, you can see the auras of your teammates if they're within a certain amount of range. If you have Prove Thyself, this helps you out a lot, especially if you like teaming up with another friend in game and jumping from gen to gen. Being gen jockeys, this perk is really, really good. The only bad side about it is that you do have to be with someone else in order for it to actually work. So, and the last one is going to be Leader. So this is another buff perk, which is great. It helps you when it comes to healing, sabotage, unhooking, cleansing, opening exit gates, and chest unlocking. This helps you and all that just because it speeds up the progress. But then again, it only works if you're within a certain amount of range when it comes to being with another survivor. So all these perks are great, guys, but you do have to be within a certain range. So that's why I'm saying this is basic. Dwight is a team player, all right? He's a team player. He's all about helping out teammates. So this is really good, especially if you guys just starting out the game. I can't talk. If you guys are just starting out the game, this is a really good person to start out with. So that's one of the reasons why I put my man Dwight in A tier. So next up we have the man, the myth, the legend. We're talking about the one and only Bill. Now, I did put Bill right here on A tier, which is great. Bill is amazing, okay? He has some incredible perks. And I think, oh man, this is really hard. Just because I am conflicted when it comes to Bill, just because he doesn't belong anywhere lower than A, okay? He's either A or S tier. Now, a lot of people fight about this, saying you should put Bill in S tier, and you know what? I kind of am agreeing with you, but then again, I kind of am not, so I'm kind of conflicted. It can definitely go both ways, either S or A. But you know what? For this video, I'm going to go ahead and put him in S tier. So let's go ahead and check out the perks. So when it comes to Bill's perks, it is Left Behind, Borrow Time, and Unbreakable. Now, Left Behind is a good perk, but that's only if you do make it to endgame. That's only if you make it to endgame, and only if you're the last person standing in the trial. So this perk is good just because it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you find the hatch, and in case the killer does close the hatch, if you have a key, it can help you out that much more. Okay. And next up is borrowed time. Of course, this is such a great perk, especially if you have a teammate that's getting just camped and tunneled, all that stuff. This can help them out and help you escape the trial. And when it comes to breakable, this is a clutch perk for Bill. In case the killer is just slugging, leaving you on the ground, you have a second chance. You can fully recover from the dying state to the injured state and have another chance at escaping or just making a big play. So this is really, really good. This is why I'm conflicted at putting Bill on A or S tier. But for this video, we're going to go ahead and put him in S tier. Now, the next survivor we are going to be talking about is going to be Cheryl Mason. I love Cheryl. She's probably one of my favorite female survivors in the game. I think we put her B last time, and I think this is where she's going to stick in this video as well. So let's go ahead and check out the perks. So when it comes to Cheryl's perks, it is Soul Guard, Blood Pact, and Repress the Line. So when it comes to Soul Guard, this is a clutch perk, guys. This is really good. By itself, it's decent, but in combination with other perks, it is very good. For example, Bill's Unbreakable. Okay, this can be a very, very good perk in a clutch situation. So this is one of the reasons why I keep her in B tier. Blood Pact, it was bad before, but now it's just decent when it comes to Blood Pact, just because they did adjust the perk. So when it comes to this one, I'll go ahead and read the description for this one. After healing the obsession or being healed by the obsession, you both gain the haste status effect, moving at an increased speed of 5, 6, 7% until you are no longer within 16 meters of each other. So, bad thing, the person that heals, the only way this perk actually works is that if the person heals you is the obsession and you guys get this speed buff. But only bad thing, well, another bad thing is that you guys literally just have to be holding hands in order for it to work. You guys literally have to be close to each other in order for this perk to even work and get that speed buff, that haste status effect. So that's one of the bad things. It used to be a lot worse. It only used to work for like 3 seconds. But now this is better, but still not that great. And the last one is Repress the Line. So you basically call upon the entity to block a gen for 30 seconds. So I don't really see people rocking this perk. I can see why. I messed around with it every now and then, but it's not really something I would actually take into a game and expecting to get out and escape. Just because this perk doesn't really work that well. I mean, if you're going up against a killer that has pop, this can be really useful. But then again, you don't know that killer's going to be rocking pop or not. So that's one of the reasons why I keep her in B and not really higher than that. So let's go ahead and check out the next survivor. Next up, we are going to be talking about another waifu for Laifu here in Dead by Daylight. And of course, we are talking about Yui. Now, I love Yui. I think her perks are decent, not amazing, but decent, pretty good. A lot of fun to mess around with. And I think I put her in B last tier list video. And I think I'll go ahead and put her in B again. So let's check out the perks. So when it comes to Yui's perks, it is Lucky Break, Any Means Necessary, and also Breakout. So when it comes to Lucky Break, I don't really use this perk that much. Yes, you don't leave any pools of blood, but you still leave scratch marks and the killer can still find you. So I don't really think this is that useful. When it comes to Any Means Necessary, this is an interesting perk, especially whenever it did get released and showcased to the community and everyone in the game. Any Means Necessary is pretty cool. It's a lot of fun to mess around with. Just because you do reset pallets. So if someone dropped a pallet, you could go ahead and reset it. It only takes a couple seconds and you can reuse that pallet and slap the killer in the face. So this is a really fun perk to use. And when it comes to Breakout, I think this is the best out of the other perks. Breakout is really good just because if you're within a certain amount of range when it comes to Survivor being carried by a killer, you gain the haste status effect, and also that Survivor that's being carried, its wiggle speed is increased by 20%. So it's a lot easier to escape the killer's grasp if you're being carried away. So this is really good. A teamwork perk right here. Probably the best out of these other two, okay? Which is one of the reasons I put her in B. I don't think Yui really belongs lower than B, so that's the reason why I put her there. Next survivor we're gonna go ahead and choose is gonna be, you know what, let's go with Kate Denson. I think, if I do remember correctly, I think I did put her in C tier last time, but you know what? I think I'm gonna go ahead and put Kate in B tier. I definitely don't think she belongs anywhere above that. Kate is a decent survivor with decent perks, not amazing perks like when it comes to these other survivors like Dwight, Meg, or Bill, but they are decent, somewhat good perks. So let's go ahead and check them out. So when it comes to Kate Denson's perks, it is Dance With Me, Windows of Opportunity, and Boil Over. So with Dance With Me, I don't really know where to put this, if like under a certain category. I don't want to say stealthy, but then again, I don't really know. Just because you don't leave any scratch marks whenever you're fast vaulting, leaving a locker to sprint. You don't leave any scratch marks for a certain amount of time, which is not bad. Okay, by itself, I don't think it's that great, but if you combine it with something else in the game, other perks, I feel like it could be really good. And the next up is Windows of Opportunity. So this is actually a really good perk if you're just starting out the game, just because it does show you the auras of pallets, breakable walls, and vaults as well, but only if you're within a certain amount of range. So if you're being chased, you're not really familiar with anything at all in the map, this is going to help you out a lot more, just because it shows you what the options of what you can do whenever you are being chased, whether you want to drop a pallet, whether you want to vault something. So it tells you, it gives you a lot of information, and it can help you out in chases. And the last one is Boil Over. I think this is a good perk. I don't definitely think it's a bad perk. Combining this with something else in the game can make it that much stronger, but by itself it's not bad. But when it comes to a Boil Over, basically your struggle effects while you're being carried by the killer are increased by 25, 50, 75%, which is not bad. So that's the reason why I put Kate. I think I put her in B tier. Yeah, B tier. So let's go ahead and keep it rolling. Next survivor, let's just go ahead and go down the line. We're gonna go ahead and talk about Adam. Adam, I think I put you in C tier last time, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and leave you in C tier as well. So let's check out the perks. So when it comes to Adam's perks, it is Diversion, Deliverance, and also Autodidact. Now when it comes to Diversion, let's be honest, you're just trolling and probably throwing the pebble at the killer's face. Okay, let's be honest. But if you're actually using it to be stealthy and whatnot, to pull a fast one on the killer, it might be somewhat useful. I don't really see a lot of people using this perk that much. Next up is Deliverance. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is a clutch perk, okay? This is one of the reasons why I don't put Adam in like D tier or anything. Deliverance can be very clutch. It is a very good perk, okay? But one perk and two pretty much bad perks is the reason why I put him in C tier. But Deliverance, basically you get 100% chance to unhook yourself during the escape attempt. But of course, that's only if this is your first hook. And when it comes to Autodidact, you start the trial with minus 25% progression penalty for skill checks to heal survivors. Basically, it's kind of a stack perk, but there's no reason to run this in my opinion. Autodidact is pretty bad. If you're trying to heal survivors fast, I recommend We'll Make It or even Botany. But Autodidact, and when it comes to healing, this is probably not the way to go for you guys. But if you want to mess around with it, Maybe it's good with combination with other perks, but I wouldn't touch this perk at all. Alright, let's go ahead and keep going down the line. Now we have Ace. Good old Ace, alright? Ace, you're fun, you're awesome, I like you, but your perks just ain't it. So, I'm sorry to do this to you, man. I'm so sorry to do this to you, but I think I'm going to go ahead and put you down at D tier. So let's check out the perks. So when it comes to Ace's perks, it is Open-Handed, Up the Ante, and also Ace in the Hole. When it comes to Open-Handed, it increases the aura reading range by 4, 6, 8 meters. It's not a bad perk, but also it's not that great of a perk either. Especially since it doesn't really help you escape the killer, or it doesn't really help you objective-wise. When it comes to Up the Ante, it increases your luck, and also increases the luck of your teammates. And that's pretty much it. Okay, when it comes to Ace in the Hole, this is a fun perk to mess around with. Okay, this is a very fun perk, especially if you're trying to go for a loot build or something like that. But in general, looking at Ace's perks and trying to actually survive the game and escape the killer, this is just not going to help you out whatsoever. I mean, yeah, you can find something in chests. Maybe you'll find something really good, like a green item, maybe a purple item. But besides that, I don't think this is all that great of a lineup of perks. Now let's go ahead and move on. Now we have Claudette. So, Claudette, one of the OG survivors in the game, guys. Claudette is amazing. I love Claudette. We stan Claudette here, okay? I love Claudette. I think I'm going to go ahead and put Claudette on A tier. I love Claudette. I love her perks. So let's check them out. When it comes to Claude's perks, it is empathy, botany knowledge, and self-care. So when it comes to empathy, it is a aura reading ability perk. So you're going to be able to find your teammates, see where they are. If they're injured, this just helps you out finding them, finding their location, and healing them. And when it comes to botany knowledge, this increases your healing speed, which is even that much more amazing. So botany knowledge, empathy, definitely really good combo. And when it comes to self-care, which is the third perk for Claude, this unlocks the ability to heal yourself without a medkit. So by the sound of that, that is amazing. But the bad thing about this perk is that you heal yourself at a very, very slow rate. So this takes some time to heal yourself. So in that amount of time to heal yourself, I would rather much be doing a gen, maybe doing something else in the map, cleansing totems. I would rather much be cleansing totems than probably using self-care to heal myself. So this perk is really good, especially if you're at low ranks. I know a lot of people don't really like helping each other when it comes to low ranks. Sometimes I do see people just hiding most of the time when it comes to low ranks, or just focusing on gens and not really healing each other. So self-care might be really good for you as well if you're playing solo, if anything, if you're not doing survive with friends. And next up is the man, the one, the only, the Chad himself of Dead by Daylight. We have my man David King. Now guys, when it comes to David King, I've seen a lot of other tier list videos. I've seen a lot of people put him way up top. I've seen a lot of people put him way down low because of certain perks that he has. But I kind of want to put him like a little towards the middle, just because I definitely don't think he is S tier material. That's 100% for sure. But then again, I don't think he is C or D material. I definitely do think he belongs in A tier or B tier, somewhere around the middle. But for this video, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put David King. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put him in A tier. I'll be honest. David King, A tier. So let's go ahead and check out his perks. So when it comes to David King's perks, it is We're Gonna Live Forever, Dead Hard, and No Mither. When it comes to the first perk, We're Gonna Live Forever, it did get adjusted, guys. So this is definitely not the same We're Gonna Live Forever that we had a little while ago. So when it comes to this perk, I will read the description for this one. It says, when healing a dying survivor, your healing speed is increased by 100%. Gain a token for performing any of the following actions: perform a safe hook rescue, take a protection hit, stun the killer to rescue a carried survivor, blind the killer to rescue a carried survivor. So there's a lot of things that can definitely help you out when it comes to getting more blood points. So do any of these heroic actions and you will stack up on this perk and give you more blood points. So it says gain a stackable 25% bonus blood points, gain to a maximum of 50, 75, 100%. So this just used to be a blood point farming perk, but now they added this part right here. You can now heal at a 100% rate if one of your teammates, if the other survivor is in the dying state. So this can definitely help you out a lot more than it did a little while ago before this change. And next up, we're going to be talking about is Dead Hard. We all know Dead Hard. We all love Dead Hard. And we all hate Dead Hard at the same time, okay? Just because sometimes it doesn't work whatsoever. But whenever it does work, it is a beautiful perk. You can use it to basically gain distance, separate distance from you and the killer. And of course, whenever you're in the Dead Hard stage, the killer misses an attack, basically. You're unkillable within that like 0.5 seconds when you use it. But right here, I'll go ahead and read the description for you guys. Basically, you can take a beating when injured, tapping your adrenaline bank and dash forward quickly to avoid damage. Press the active ability button while running to dash forward. During the dash, you do avoid damage. And the last perk here is one of the reasons why I don't put him in S tier. This is why I don't put him anywhere above where he is right now. So we have No Mither. You are affected by the broken status effect for the entire trial. So yes, you are one shot for the entire trial. Okay? But you get something in return. You do not leave any pools of blood, and grunts of pain are reduced by 0, 25, 50% at any time. Grants the ability to fully recover from the dying state. So you do get something in return for being one shot the entire game. But technically, in my opinion, being one shot throughout the entire game, through the entire trial, does not sound fun whatsoever. So that's one of the reasons that I don't put him anywhere above where he is right now. Alright, let's go ahead and keep it going. Next up is going to be Detective Tap. My man Tap. I do love Tap. I do love Tap. But when it comes to his perks and his ranking, he's going to go... Oh man, I hate to do this to him, but he's going to be right here, right next to Adam in C tier. Just because of his perks, and I don't think they're really all that great. So, let's go ahead and check him out. So when it comes to Tap's perks, it is Tenacity, Detective's Hunch, and Stakeout. So when it comes to Tenacity, you basically crawl a lot faster and you recover a lot faster when you're in a dying state. Detective's Hunch, it's an aura reading ability perk. So whenever you do complete a gen, you see everything around you when it comes to chests, when it comes to gens, when it comes to totems, but only whenever you're within a certain amount of meters. And when it comes to Stakeout, I used to actually rock this perk a lot before the Ruin change. But after the Ruin change, I feel like it's not really that useful whatsoever. But basically, for each 15 seconds you are standing within the killer's terror radius and are not in a chase, you gain a token up to a maximum of 4 tokens. When Stakeout has at least 1 token, good skill checks are considered great skill checks. So hence why I said after the Ruin change, I don't really use it that much. So Tenacity is probably the perk I use the most when it comes to these other two. So Tenacity is great, especially in combination with other perks. Detective's Hunch, Stakeout, not completely bad, but really not really that useful. Alright, so next up in line is going to be my man Jake. I love Jake. I think he's a great survivor. I don't think it's bad, but then again, I don't think he is absolutely incredible either. So when it comes to Jake, I think he definitely belongs somewhere in the middle. I don't think he belongs to anywhere lower than B. He does not belong in C or D. But then again, he does not belong in S tier in my opinion. So when it comes to Jake, I think I'm going to go ahead and put him right next to Kate, which is in B tier. So let's check out the perks. So when it comes to Jake's perks, it is Iron Will, Con Spirit, and Saboteur. So when it comes to Iron Will, guys, I think this is definitely a top tier perk in Dead by Daylight. This is a great perk. But when it comes to Iron Will, grunts of pain that are caused by injuries are reduced by 50, 75, 100%. So if you are injured, you will make no noises, sounds whatsoever. So that is amazing. When it comes to Con Spirit, this is a really good perk, especially if you're going up against a doctor. But by itself, it's not really honestly that great. Basically, you reduce the chances of alerting crows, and your Con Spirit can overcome the urge to scream. So hence why I said it's good up against the doctor. And Saboteur, this got adjusted, this got changed quite some time ago, and it has been amazing ever since. I think Saboteur is a great perk. But if you guys don't know what it is, I'll go ahead and read the description for this one. Basically, you see the hook auras in a radius of 56 meters from the pickup spot if a survivor is being carried, and unlocks the ability to sabotage hooks without a toolbox. So you don't need to bring a toolbox into the game in order to sabotage. Just go ahead and put on this perk and you're good to go. And when it comes to sabotaging a hook without a toolbox, it takes 2.5 seconds. So not a long time at all. And the sabotage action has a cooldown of 90, 75, and 60 seconds. So about a minute right here. So these two perks, amazing. I think they're really good. But when it comes to Con Spirit, I don't really think it's that great, which is the reason why I put him where he is right now. So next survivor up is going to be Jeff. Jeff, I do like Jeff. He's a great survivor, but when it comes to his perks, guys, I don't think they're really that good. So I definitely don't think he belongs like S tier or A tier. I definitely think he belongs kind of towards the lower middle. I don't think he belongs in D tier because Jeff can definitely be useful. But when it comes to Jeff, I think I'm going to go ahead and put him in. He either belongs in B or C, but I think for this video, I'm going to go ahead and put him down at C. So let's check out his perks. When it comes to Jeff's perks, it is Breakdown, Aftercare, and Distortion. So when it comes to Breakdown, I don't think this is really that amazing of a perk. It can be useful, definitely, but I don't think it's that great. So basically, if you get hooked and you unhook yourself or someone else unhooks you, that hook does break for a certain amount of time. And you also get to see the killer's aura whenever that does happen. So not bad, but then again, not great. And when it comes to Aftercare, guys, this perk I wouldn't even touch. I don't think it's a great perk whatsoever. I'd rather much be using something else. Basically, it's an aura reading ability perk. Whenever you get rescued from a hook, you get to see the aura of the person who rescued you. And if you complete an action on someone, or someone completes an action on you, like a healing action, you get to see each other's auras as well. And honestly, this is really unnecessary. I don't think this is going to help you out in game that much. I'd rather much be using some other aura reading ability perk than this perk right here. So definitely other things that are better for this in the game. And when it comes to the last perk, I think it's probably one of the most useful perks when it comes to his arsenal right here. Distortion. Basically, you start this trial with 3 tokens, and whenever the killer reads your aura, Distortion activates and a token is consumed. So for the next 6, 8, 10 seconds while Distortion is activated, your aura will not be shown to the killer whatsoever. So if the killer has, let's say, barbecue, this can definitely be a great counter to that and help you out in game to stay hidden, kind of be a little stealthy, and keep working on your gens, just because he won't see your aura if he does have barbecue or something. And if you're doing something important in game, this is going to help you stay off their radar. You know what I mean? So this is the reason why I put Jeff in C tier. Jesus, man, there are so many survivors in this game now. But next up we have is Ash. Good old Ash, man. I think I've seen Ash at the bottom of everyone's like tier list videos I've ever watched. So when it comes to Ash, even though I love the survivor himself in general, he's not S tier material. He's not A or B. I definitely do think he belongs down there as well. So he's either C or D material. But is he in right there? Should he be next to Ace? Should he be next to Ace when it comes to his perks? Oh man, honestly I think Ash might be a little better than Ace. So I think we're gonna go ahead and put him in the C tier. So let's check out the perks. So when it comes to Ash's perks, it is Flip Flop, Buckle Up, and Metal of Man. Metal Man. Anyway, when it comes to Flip Flop, basically while you're in the dying state, 50% of your recovery progression is converted into wiggle progression. So that can definitely be really helpful in game. I mean, that's only if the killer actually leaves you on the ground. That's one bad thing about it, and you're able to recover a little bit. And next up is Buckle Up. I don't really use this perk at all whatsoever. I don't think it's really that useful, which is one of the reasons why I put him down there in the lower tier. But I'll go ahead and read the description for this. The recovery progress of dying survivors can be determined by the intensity of their auras at a distance up to 48 meters. When you heal a survivor from the dying state to injured, both the healed survivor and yourself see the killer's aura for a duration of 4, 5, 6 seconds. So, honestly, it's not really worth it bringing it into the trial. Use something else that can be a lot more useful. And last but not least is Metal of Man. Man, the history with this perk. But anyway, I'll go ahead and read the description for this, even though it is literally a book that you have to read for the description. So it says right here, after you earn 3 protection hit score events, Metal Man activates. Once it's activated, the next occasion that would put you into the dying state from the injured state is ignored. So there you go. That is Metal Man. It used to be a lot better back in the day, of course, after the change. Not really many people use it whatsoever. So there is Ash, and the reason why I put him towards the bottom of the tier list. Now, next survivor we are going to be talking about is good old Jane. Good old Jane. Now, I think she belongs a little more towards the upper middle of the tier list. I don't think she's S tier. I don't think she's A tier material whatsoever. But I do think she belongs around B tier, along with Jake over here. So let's check out the perks. So when it comes to Jane's perks, it is Solidarity, Poised, and Head On. When it comes to Solidarity, basically when you heal a survivor, you also get healed back at the same time, but at a certain conversion rate. And when it comes to Poised, you leave no scratch marks whatsoever when you finish a generator for a certain amount of time, which is one of the reasons why I don't put her above B tier, just because this perk right here is not really useful at all. And when it comes to Head On, this is one of the reasons why I do put her in B tier, just because this perk is absolutely incredible. Whether you're trolling or actually being serious and just, you know, trying to pull a fast one on the killer, trying to stun the killer, this can help you out whenever a killer is carrying a survivor. You can stun the killer, help your teammate escape. It can be used in a lot of different situations. So I'll go ahead and read the description for this one. Basically, while Head On is activated, performing a rushed action to leave locker stuns the killer for 3 seconds if they are standing within range. Incredible. Right there. That's all I have to read right there. That's all I have to read right there. That is incredible. But of course, you do get the exhausted status effect for a certain amount of time, but that's not really a bad thing. That's kind of to be expected when it comes to these kind of perks. But Jane, B tier, great survivor. So now we are down to the last 5 survivors in Dead by Daylight. Next up, we're going to be talking about is Nancy. Now, because to Nancy, guys, I think she does belong towards the middle. She's not S or A tier material at all. And I don't think she belongs in D or C. So we're going to go ahead and put it right here next to Jane and B tier. So let's check out the perks. So when it comes to Nancy's perks, it is Better Together, Fixated, Inner Strength. When it comes to Better Together, it's kind of like an informational type of perk, kind of like an aura reading ability perk. You kind of show survivors whenever you are repairing gen in case you guys want to hop on it together. Fixated. Fixated, it's kind of like it's a very interesting perk just because, yes, it does help you walk faster, 10, 15, 20% faster whenever you're uninjured. So you do have to be uninjured in order to gain the effect of this perk. But you can also see your own scratch marks. So when it comes to walking faster, this helps you out against a certain killer as well, which is the Spirit. So if you're going up against the Spirit and you have Fixated on, this just helps you out that much more. Okay, this is a really good perk against the Spirit. Now when it comes to Inner Strength, this is also another perk that's really good. Each time you cleanse a totem, Inner Strength activates. If you go into a locker within a certain amount of time, you go from the injured state to the healthy state. So in case you have no teammates left, you have no teammates around to even heal you, you can heal yourself by cleansing a totem. Go in a locker and heal yourself that way. So Nancy's actually not too bad. Not a bad survivor, not great, not amazing, not bad, not trash. She's just decent. She's just good. So we got Nancy out of the way. Now we're going to talk about her mans. Her mans, or used to be mans. Steve Harrington. I love Steve, man. When it comes to Steve as a survivor in general, S tier. S tier material. But if we're looking at it the way we are right now when it comes to his perks, not so much. So we're going to go ahead and put Steve down here. My man Steve. I'm sorry to do this to you, man. But we're going to go ahead and put you down here in C tier. I don't think he's ace D tier material, but he is definitely not above C tier. So let's go ahead and check out the perks. So Steve's perks are Babysitter, Camaraderie, and also Second Wind. Now, I call Steve the Protector, okay? That's what I call Steve. He's the man, okay? He's not scared. I love Steve, but I call him the Protector because of these perks. So when it comes to Babysitter, basically it says it all. You risk it all to help those in need. When you unhook a survivor, the rescued survivor will leave no scratch marks and nor pools of blood. So no scratch marks, no pools of blood for within a certain amount of time. Both you and the killer see each other's aura for 4 seconds. So you help out your teammate, but in return, you're kind of screwing yourself over and you show yourself to the killer. When it comes to Camaraderie, while you're on the hook in the struggle phase, Camaraderie activates. And if another survivor is within 16 meters of your hook while Camaraderie is activated, the struggle phase timer is paused. So you do get extra time on the hook if you do rock this perk. In case this killer's like camping you, in case the killer's like tunneling you and just wants you dead, Camaraderie can definitely come in handy, which is a reason why I don't put him in D tier with Ace. So I think Camaraderie is a good perk. And when it comes to Second Wind, now this is a whole book that you have to read in order to actually understand the perk. But I'll go ahead and read it for you guys right here. When you have healed other survivors for the equivalent of 1 health state, Second Wind activates. While Second Wind is activated, the next time you're unhooked or unhook yourself, you're affected by the broken status effect. After a total duration of this amount of time, Second Wind automatically activates and heals you for injured to the healthy state. Second Wind deactivates once you are completely healed if you are put into the dying state. So, a lot of stuff going on when it comes to these perks, guys. If you're off the hook, you're basically one shot. You're one shot for a certain amount of time. But if you can actually wait it out, if you can escape the killer from the time you're unhooked, it can be somewhat decent. Not great, but it is decent just because you don't need someone else healing you, okay? You don't need someone else healing you. You can heal yourself, but only if you can survive that amount of time. So that's why I'm saying Steve is the Protector, all right? Steve is the Protector when it comes to Babysitter He is the one-man show. Get away from Steve with all the heals, alright? He can heal himself. That's all I'm saying. He's the man. And now we're down to the last 3 survivors, okay? Now we have Quentin. Quentin, I love you, man. I hope they do a rework when it comes to the character himself, because they just did my boy Quentin so wrong. And when it comes to his perks, guys, I gotta do it. I gotta do it, man. I love Quentin. I love messing around with his perks, but when it comes to actually being useful in the game, I don't think it is that great. So let's go ahead and check him out. So when it comes to Quentin's perks, it is Wake Up, Pharmacy, and Vigil. Now, when it comes to Wake Up, you get to open Ed's gates a lot faster. Pharmacy, you unlock chests faster, and you get a med kit the first try. Vigil, I'll read the description for this one, just so we can understand Vigil a lot more. You and your allies within a certain range of 8 meters recover from exhaustion, hemorrhage, mangled, hindered, and blindness status effects a little faster, 10, 15, 20% faster, which is not bad, but then again, it's not really necessary in game, guys. So, you're useful when it comes to Wake Up. Pharmacy is fun, but not really necessary. And when it comes to Vigil, I don't think it's that great whatsoever. Unless you're like rocking a head-on build and you have teammates that are using exhaust perks, it can help you out a little bit. It can recover that a lot faster. But other than that, that's the reason why I put Quentin down in the last tier. I love Quentin, man, but these perks just ain't it. Now we're on to Felix, which is the newest survivor in Dead by Daylight. Well, until a couple of days from now, until we get the new survivor. But when it comes to Felix, guys, I actually do like his perks. They can be really useful in game. He definitely does not belong to the lower tier. I think he belongs more towards the middle. I don't think it's S tier material. I don't think it's A tier material, but I do think it's at least in the middle and B tier material. So let's check out the perks. So what we have here is Visionary, Desperate Measures, and Built to Last. When it comes to Visionary, I think of it as Windows from Kate's perk, but for generators. Basically, you see the auras of generators if you're within a certain range. Desperate Measures increases the healing and hooking speeds by a certain speed for each injured, hooked, or dying survivor. So that can be really useful right there, guys. And when it comes to Built to Last, once per trial, a depleted item will refill 30, 40, 50% of its charges after 10 seconds of being used. Guys, this can be a really good perk right here, okay? This is really fun. Built to Last is really fun. Desperate Measures can be extremely useful. And Visionary actually helps you out also if you're a beginning survivor and can't really find gens that well. So it shows you the auras of generators so you can go ahead and fix them and help your teammates with the objective. So this is a good starter perk as well. So all in all, Felix is a really good survivor. I don't think he's bad, but I don't think he's top tier. And last but not least, we're down to our final survivor, guys. Our final survivor is Zarina. Now when it comes to Zarina, guys, I don't think she is top tier material. I think she belongs a little more towards the middle. Maybe, I don't think she's useless. I don't think she's useless. I think she's a decent survivor. I wouldn't put her in D tier, but I think I would either put her in B or C tier, but nothing below, nothing above that. So when it comes to this video, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put her in C tier for this video. So let's check out the perks. So when it comes to Zarina's perks, it is Off the Record, Red Herring, and For the People. So when it comes to Off the Record, guys, basically once you're unhooked or escape the hook, Off the Record activates within a certain amount of time, so it is a time limited perk. While Off the Record is active, your aura will not be shown to the killer, and grunts of pain will be grunts of pain caused by injuries are reduced by 100%. So it's like Iron Will along with that death perk, but it is timed. It does not last you throughout the whole trial. Just like Jeff's perk, it consumes tokens. Well, this is a time limited perk right here. So not bad, but not great. This right here is one of the reasons I don't put her down at the last tier. And when it comes to Red Herring, I don't use this perk whatsoever. Okay, I understand the usefulness of this perk, but I don't really use it at all. I don't think it's necessary in the trial. Okay, this is good if you're trying to pull a fast one on the killer, just trying to trick the killer, thinking you're at point A, where in reality you're just at point B. So that's all I'm gonna say when it comes to the perk. And when it comes to For the People, now this right here is an interesting perk. Another reason why I don't put her in last tier. It can be a clutch perk, that's for sure. But when it comes to For the People, I'll go ahead and read the description for this one. For the People is only active while at full health. So if you're injured, you can't use this perk whatsoever. Press the active ability button while healing another survivor without a medkit to instantly heal them from dying to injured. So this is an instant health state. Or injured to healthy. When you become injured and receive the broken status effect for a certain amount of time. So you can't be healed for, let's say, 90 seconds is the shortest. So a minute and a half. So that's a long time. And after this, you also become the obsession. So that's another bad thing to put on top of that. So it's a clutch perk. You can use this in certain situations. It can definitely be useful. I can see the usefulness out of this perk. But I don't think it's a top tier perk. So red herring, I think it's not really, you shouldn't use this. When it comes to For the People, it can be situational. When it comes to Off the Record, it's not bad, but also not great. I'd rather much use Iron Will than just use a time limited perk. But yeah, guys, there it is. This took quite some time to make, so hopefully you guys did enjoy. This definitely took a long time, more than expected. But I usually make one of these every single mid-chapter patch, and then I make another tier list video for killers every single chapter release. So definitely look forward to that, just because something is always changing. And Dead by Daylight, whether it's the killer's powers or some perks being changed, so that can definitely mess with the character's standing and or rankings. So that's the reason why I do these. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. If you think I should move someone to the top, if you think I should move someone towards the bottom, let me know. Remember, this is just my opinion and where I think these characters stand. So thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Definitely does help a lot. Follow me on Twitch if you guys want to see any DVD action live. I'm usually live every single night playing some DVD. So come out, we'll have some fun, and I'll see you guys next video maker, right? Peace.